comparison is the thief of joy. So you remember a few months ago, it's actually 2 years ago. Cat Williams was on Club Shay Shay, exposing everyone in 2024 and whatnot. And then there's something that he said. He said he read 3,000 books. You know, when I first heard it, I thought it was just like your general exaggeration. You know, when someone's like, "Yeah, I have 1,000 sneakers." No, I have uh, 1,000,000 T-shirts. I thought he was talking like that. It turns out that he actually meant literally 3,000 books a year. So this was the first video that I initially saw. I think we all saw this and we were wondering, like 3,000, eh? Yeah, nah.
Everything from the housing to the cars to the gardener. Like I'm saying, so I'm not just reading. I'm reading in multiple languages. Like
How old are you?
I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year from the time that I'm 8 years old to the time.
Damn. So that's like 12,000 books. Bruh.
Read, not just a little child's book, but you could read.
I'm saying, so I'm not just reading. I'm reading in multiple languages. Like
How old are you?
I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year from the time that I'm 8 years old to the time that I'm 12. No
one believed this. You guys remember he went to Joe Rogan's show after that? He got there and he still doubled down and said, "No, I used to actually read 3,000 books a year." Sharp. And then he starts to, sort of break it down and break down how this 3,000 came about. He then came to a conclusion of 60 books a week.
Like when I said, like, I read 3,000 books, people were like, yeah, right. But, right. So if I told you that from the time I was 8 to the time I was 12,
4 years.
I never celebrated any birthdays. I never went to a birthday party. I never had a Thanksgiving or Christmas. I never trick-or-treated. I wasn't allowed to watch movies, and I wasn't allowed to watch TV. All I could do was read. If I told you that, then you would understand that for 8 hours a day, I got 8 hours, and I can read, and I love to read. And so
he used to read for 8 hours a day. Okay. So if you read 8 hours a day, in a week you would have 56 hours. So a week, 60 books in 56 hours. Okay.
I'm reading books that are 250 to 100 pages, and it takes me about an hour to read one. So yeah,
Takes you an hour to read.
200 pages, and it takes me about. I'm reading books that are 250 to 100 pages.
I'm not sure what he meant by 250 to 100. So, okay, so now it's 250 to 100. But let's keep listening. Let's hear where this is going.
And I love to read, and so I'm reading books that are 250 to 100 pages, and it takes me about an hour to read one. So yeah, I'm reading 8 a day. Yeah, like all I'm doing is reading, because that's what. So I'm checking out 20 books. The limit at the library is 20 books at one time. So I'm going Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay, so he goes 3 times a week to grab 20 books. So that's 60 books a week. And from those 56 hours, he makes sure that he reads all those books. Hold on. 20, 20, 20, that's 60. If each book takes about an hour to read, that is 60 hours. He reads 8 hours a week, and from those 8 hours, he's supposed to wait, because I'm trying to calculate this properly in my head, and it's not coming together. It's not coming right, you know. But let's do this. Right. So we are gonna calculate what Cat is saying. So Cat says he reads for 8 hours a day. So I went to ChatGPT to find out exactly how many books can you read. I'm just gonna share that other screen. So I then asked ChatGPT, right, and it gave me those answers. It says 3 to 7 books per week. That's 7 to 28 books per month. You may include speed readers. For the low end, it's about 1,750 pages, and so for the low end, it's 1,050 pages. For the high end, it's about 1,750 pages. These are the quick readers. These are the very quick readers. So convert to books, right? Using 250-page books, and we're going to use 300. Let's go with 250 just to be fair, right? So at a very quick pace, 1,750 divided by 250, that is 7 books. But according to him, a day he collects 20 out of the 3 days that he grabs a book. And then we then look at the maximum realistic. So that's 14,000 pages a week. So here's the mathematical maximum. It's 28 to 56 books per week. That's assuming zero slowdown, high comprehension, no cognitive fatigue, consistent pace for 8 hours daily. So this is what the reality check says. Sustaining 150 to 250 pages per hour for 8 hours straight on dense nonfiction is rare. Cognitive throughput usually declines after 3 to 4 hours. Honestly, 3 to 4 hours is even a long time. Normally, people's cognitive throughput declines after 45 minutes. This is more realistic. After 45 minutes, just watch people in meetings, watch people at events, wherever, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a funeral. After 45 minutes, people's concentration levels drop and they start wanting to talk and do something else. But as you can see here, it says, but purely on math, up to 50 books per week is possible. Now he was at, what's this guy's name? He was at Big Boy's show, all right? Instead of saying that, you know what, guys, initially I was just saying 3,000 just to say 3,000. But he decided to double down on Joe Rogan's show. And then now he was on Big Boy's show and he tripled down. And here's what he has to say.
Watch how Cat Williams respond to people clowning his 3,000 books record, thinking it's cap.
Hey, Cat, the 3,000 books. People looked at that and...
The books thing is still the funny in the world.
Really doubled down. I went to the library. I got 20 books at a time, because that's all they would let you get. I'll be reading 8 books simultaneously. Need to read 30 books today.
Cat Williams tells the truth.
I'm not sure how long it takes. It's just my thing. Like,
So you're getting 60 books a week?
Yeah, but people are so
really?
messed up, though.
Yeah, because I'm reading more than that.
This guy goes to Joe Rogan's show. Joe Rogan talks to him nice. Oh, really? Okay. 3,000 books. Wow. So you spend this entire time. And then Cat Williams leaves. He then remains behind and starts dissing him and mimicking his voice. People are messed up, dog. But let's continue.
Thing like,
So you're getting 60 books a week?
minimum, because
Really?
Yeah, because I'm reading more than that because I still have religious books that I have to read. So understand this is pre-internet first.
Right.
So understand that in reading one, because I'm reading more than that because I still have religious books
Joe
that I
Rogan
have
doesn't
to read.
believe it.
So understand this is pre-internet first.
Right.
So understand that in reading one thing that I'm reading, right?
Right.
This one thing that I'm reading is also requiring me to have this appendix book that is the source book that it's telling me it's getting.
I'm suspecting that this source book is how he used to reference what he doesn't understand. But that doesn't count as reading a book.
These things from, and so I've got 4 books open at a time just for this one book. Like
You know what? I'm starting to think that's exactly how Cat Williams got to the 3,000 number. Probably reads one book, references 6, counted as 7.
but yeah, so first I guess between 8 and 12 I can read classics and nonfiction. So I'm saying no novels or anything like that. I'm just reading Time Life has like 1,800 of these individual books.
Watch how Cat Williams respond to people clowning his 3,000 books record, thinking it's cap.
Hey, Cat, the 3,000 books. People look at that and
The books thing is still
Yeah, most of us know realistically, I was fine.
the funny in the world.
Really doubled down. I went to the library. I got 20 books at a time because that's all they would let you.
What you read?
I got 20 books at a time because that's all they would let you get. I'll be reading 8 books simultaneously. Need to read 30 books today.
Cat Williams tells the truth. I'm not sure how long it takes you to read 300-page book. It was
Still the funny in the world.
I'll be reading 8 books simultaneously.
Listen to him exaggerate now. 8 books at a time. What about fun?
To read 30 books today.
Cat Williams tells the truth. I'm not sure how long it takes you to read 300-page book. It was taking me 2.5 hours, like movie time. I'm saying you later.
So no, it's only 2.5 hours, like movie time. You see where some of these flops start. Getting a call here.
300-page book. It was taking me 2.5 hours, like movie time.
So now he says it was taking him 2.5 hours, movie time. So if you were to use the 8 hours he spoke about, then the first 2.5 he would read the first book, second 2.5, which is 5 hours, second book, third book would be up until 7.5 hours to 8. So he reads about 3.25 books a day, based on what he said, and based on how speed readers read and the maximum, reading capacity of people. Cap.
Saying you later on find out that he has been a speed reader all his life.
No, speed readers don't read to comprehend things, right? So a speed reader reads just to get like the main points and then absorb what they can. But it's not about reading and understanding a book in its entirety. So he's now comparing himself to speed readers instead of, this thing is irritating me. he's comparing himself to speed readers, right? Like he's a speed reader. Speed readers don't read to comprehend things. They read to get like a slight understanding and the main topic, like just to like the main points. It's all about getting the main points and not everything in the book. So what he was doing, he was skimming through 3,000 books a year. It could even be less since he counts reference books as a book. Let's hear some more.
About his background and upbringing that made that wasn't even allowed to watch TV or go to movies or nothing. Like it really was just books.
So, guys, what I want to discuss today is comparison is the thief of joy. In what sense, you're probably asking or asking yourself, in what sense is comparison the thief of joy, right? A lot of people come out like this, like when they're talking to others, they always elevate what they've done in order to sound more clever, sound like they're doing well, sound more efficient, sound more proficient in what they're doing, But if you're going to compare yourself, you're basically comparing yourself to things that aren't real, things that aren't. Here's another example, right? Or rather, let's say you have a manager at work. So now this manager of yours is earning a certain amount. This manager of yours is doing international trips all the time. They're going here, they're going there, there. When that happens, you will have to wait for your turn so that you get to their level and do what they're doing, right? You're not gonna just get there because you're working with them, right? And then you look at Cat Williams with what he was saying. He's busy saying that he used to read so many books, right? And I know that this brood wasn't even talking about 3,000 books, but now he's defending something that he needs to defend because he always tells people that he's not a liar. I'm not a liar. I don't lie. I never speak lies, right? So, and then we like, okay, here's a lie. Everyone's like, nah, dog, here's a lie. You lied and said 3,000 books per annum. But if we look at it statistically and realistically, it can't happen, right? But I know for a fact there's someone out there who tried. So if you're gonna wanna do that and compare yourself to the next person, thinking that you can reach their level of doing things, then it's a problem. So there's also, you must also understand that there's different inputs, different outputs in life, right? Even the smartest of the smart, they can learn quickly, but it's not extreme, right? So if you compare yourself, let's say you even at school or whatever, and you guys are going through a class, person A, which is you getting good marks, but not like perfect marks. And then you have person B, who is just naturally smart, right? The moment you start comparing yourself to them, it's gonna kill your journey. Why do people exaggerate? People exaggerate to feel like they belong, or sometimes just to feel superior to others. You know, yeah, you can feel superior to others, but at the end of the day, if you're exaggerating, it's a form of lying, guys. Exaggeration, I believe exaggeration is a form of lying. You know, and if you look at other people who are exaggerating, you're gonna wanna push for goals that you can't achieve. It's impossible to achieve such goals. And another thing, regarding this whole thing, yeah, Cat Williams. Cat Williams reads, maybe he might have read like a lot. Guys, let's not think of speed as depth, all right? Speed is speed, sharp. You can do things quickly, you can speed read, you can speed type. Okay, speed typing is a totally different story, but you can speed read. When you speed read, you're not really catching anything, right? And you then come out to people and say, I've read this many books. People are going to believe you and think, okay, that's what's up. And then a lot of people aren't going to think about the depth that is required to comprehend some of these books. And he said it's not novels, not none of this fiction stuff. It's real books with real information. So if that's the case, cap, dog, cap. He's not getting in anything into his head. He's just reading and going on and on. So this is why a lot of times, hey man, when you compare yourself to people, you're not gonna be happy. You'll never be happy comparing yourself to people, you know. But think of it like a mountain. Yeah? Go to almost any mountain. There's different paths to that mountain. Some mountains have a steep incline. Some of them you can go all the way around. It's going to take longer, but you're going to get there. The destination is the same. Others are going to get there quicker. But look at your own path and which path serves your goal, and which path serves your what you deem as success. So yeah, that's what's up, guys. Comparison is like the thief of joy, because you know, you're comparing yourself to things that you cannot achieve and things that the person who's showing you cannot achieve, right? And yeah, think about it like that, guys. I just thought about it this morning, because initially I didn't take it seriously. I didn't really, you know, think about it. But now he's on a big boy and he's tripling down. Yeah, no, if you, it's like bafethu god man le tla paisisa batho le tla go zama go bala buka tse 3000 go paisisa ha eno tsala ntho e. Now it's impossible for that to happen. But this for me was a perfect analogy of how it happens and how it goes about. So avoid it. Yeah, enjoy your Friday, guys. Enjoy your weekend.